The Wilderness Within You, day 39 of Lent, which is the Saturday of week 6. Two readings, both from the New International Version of the Bible. First from Luke 10, verses 38 to 42. As Jesus and his disciples were on their way, he came to a village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him. She had a sister called Mary, who sat at the Lord's feet, listening to what he said. But Martha was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made, and she came to him and asked, "Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do all the work by myself? Tell her to help me." "Martha, Martha," the Lord answered, "you're worried and upset about many things, but a few things are needed, or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her." And Matthew chapter 6, verses 31 to 33. So do not worry, saying, "What shall we eat?" or "What shall we drink?" or "What shall we wear?" For the pagans run after all these things, and your heavenly Father knows that you need them. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. I can hardly believe that I'm going to admit this publicly, but I kind of hoped Jesus wouldn't show up today. Only because I've been so busy. Lying in bed this morning, mentally reviewing the day, for the first time it began to feel like his visits can be a bit of a nuisance sometimes. What are you thinking? Where is an interrobang when you need one? I was shocked at myself. I mean, well, Jesus, what a privilege to spend time with Jesus. Wouldn't that always be more important than anyone else? I think it's quite brave of me to own up. So much to remember, so much on my mind, so many things to juggle, so much to get done. But I make time for him. Big of me, eh? When he comes by just after I've snatched a hasty lunch. He wants us to go down by the sea because it's a beautiful day and the sun's shining, but I haven't got time to walk all the way there and all the way back and sit by the sea, so we compromise and take a bus. I know, there are no buses in the wilderness. Okay, but you do have to get there somehow. So here we are, sitting together in the lee of the wall that holds up the foreshore promenade. Sheltered from the wind, it's surprisingly warm. Jesus says nothing for a while. I look at the beach pebbles. I gaze out across the sea, sparkling with myriad points of light. I tip my head back to let my eyes feast on clouds, impossibly white, against a sky indescribably blue. I listen to the quiet, deep voice of the sea as the waves fall, and the drag of the shingle as they recede. I breathe in the briny purity of the air. It feels good. I begin to relax. Not much time passes before I begin to worry about things awaiting my attention at home. I haven't got a watch. Jesus hasn't either. I throw an agitated glance at him, beginning to fret. Martha must have felt like I feel today, I say ruefully, at Bethany, with so many things to do. I pause. Maybe I should cut down a bit. He says nothing, so I glance his way again. Do you think I should prune out a few commitments? Sometimes you do have to wait before Jesus speaks, but he does say something eventually. He stops again. It's not about how many, he says, hesitantly, as if he can't quite put this into words. In every life, I wait patiently, there is a great deal going on within and around you. The temptation is always to become distracted. Martha was distracted by the many things. The concerns clamour. What shall I eat? What shall I wear? How shall I pay these bills? The questions remain. The tasks must be done. But if you can only take a step back from them and give yourself permission to breathe, to just be. Otherwise you lose yourself in all the things. You start to identify with them. They each carry away a little part of you. If even for a few moments you can stop and be still, just know, I am. Not I am this or I am that, but know the I am that you find inside. He stops speaking for a moment, and his gaze, steady, pure, peaceful as the sky, rests on the beauty of the ocean. All the things claim your attention. That's the problem, he says then. They seem to matter so much. But when you give them your attention, they do not resolve, they grow and proliferate. It's not a matter of quantity, but of focus. The kingdom of heaven is like a merchant looking for pearls, and then he came upon one of such beauty, such worth. He gave up everything he had to make it his. He left behind the many, do you see, to gain the one. Each thought, each preoccupation, each task seems so important. They clamour. This is true of feelings too. Martha, yes, she had so much to think about. And soon she had irritation and resentment and frustration to think about too. She was run ragged by everything going on inside and around her. It took her over. Trying to reschedule, cut down, prune out, well, that might be sensible. There are only 24 hours in each day. But then rescheduling becomes another thing to do. The simplifying turns into a complicated game. Yes, there are things to be done. As a bird builds a nest, as the wood ant carries a tiny splinter back to the citadel, So do men and women fulfill their human destiny. But underneath it all, only one thing matters. If you become distracted from that, you have literally lost your life. If you can keep your focus on the one thing, then all the rest will fall into place. I mean, the mystery of the presence of God within your heart. Silence expands around us. The waves keep their peaceful, interminable rhythm, like a heartbeat of life.